I'm with Evaporate to start the day.
But Evaporate too good. 2.5 leg style is Secret, Peru third.
But I like Pericles to take out the So You Think Stakes.
But it's Pericles, 100 metres to go, 2 or 3 clear, and the favourite wins. Pericles from a real go.
Hello everyone and welcome to my Makybe Diva Stakes Day Preview 2024 edition. How good is the big race? Via Sistina versus Mr. Brightside versus Pride of Jenni, add in Antino, Pinstripe last start Group 1 winner, Circle of Fire, the Cup favourite coming back first up with Warmonger. It's going to be a great race. This card is stacked with quality. I'm not looking forward to trying to find the winners, but I'm looking forward to the racing in general. There's so many good horses on this card and I can't wait for Saturday. We'll get on with the Wall of Fame for the third time in 6 weeks. Mornington Glory is going up on the wall, and what a story it was. Gavin Bedgegood deserved that Group 1, and when it went to the front, Mornington Glory, I didn't think it was going to get beat with the race fitness, and it didn't. That didn't help my tip, I wish I win, but we move on. Let's get on with this week's preview. Race 1 is a benchmark 78 over the 1100 metres. The favourite is Nadal, first up for the Mar team at $4. Big Me is the second favourite at $6.50. Barrakiel, third favourite, also at $6.50, and Moby Dick is at $7.50. We've got longer odds the rest. This was the last start run of Barrakiel. This was down the Flemington straight in his only defeat in 5 career starts, where he got beaten by Mr. Exclusive. Now, I'm very confident that Barrakiel will be turning the tables on Mr. Exclusive on Saturday. Gets the little weight swing and also back on a firmer surface, I think helps Barrakiel's chances. Has to carry the big weight on Saturday of 61 kilos, but I like it drawn gate 15. Should get to the right part of the straight. Hopefully can be just in behind the leading horses with a bit of cover. And I think it's the best horse in the race. I also think, as I alluded to earlier, getting back onto a firmer surface will really help this horse. It's 4 from 5 in its career, so it's still untapped. It's had 2 jump outs since its last run, so it's kept ticking over, and I think it's good enough to win. I've got it on top. In for second, I've got Zurian in there for second. Mickey D rides for Mark Walker. This horse comes back first up at a bit of a price. Is a first-up winner in the past, has won at the 1100 metres before. We'll want further, but I think it's good enough to run a bit of a race. In for third, I've got Headwall coming down from Sydney. Matthew Smith wouldn't be bringing this horse down if he didn't think it had a decent chance. Craig Williams rides gate 3. It can run well, and also Moby Dick. This horse comes back first up. We'll need some, not luck, but gate 2 down the straight isn't ideal. Damien Lane rides it. It's good enough to win. I like Barrakiel to start the day. Race 2 is the listed Exford Plate over the 1400 metres. The favourite is Wonder Boy at $2.50, ahead of Daggers, who's at $3.20. Out to $4.40 for Dawn Service, $5.50 for Detroit City. Those are the 4 favourites. Longer odds the rest. This was the last start win of Detroit City at Flemington. This was maybe 6 weeks ago now, where it stormed down the outside with the 60 kilos to win by 2.5 lengths. I was really taken by this horse's win. Since this, it's had a little jump out, or trial, I should say, at stall, where it was a nice tick over piece of work, but I really think this horse has some upside. Gate 7, I would have preferred it to drawn a little bit further towards the inside. I think from gate 7, this horse has to get basically back to last, but that's where it was at Flemington for its last start win, and it was able to do the job. It's 2 from 2 in its career. It's potentially still untapped, and I reckon it's a really good horse, and I'm confident. In for second, I've got Just Party. This horse comes down from Sydney. James McDonald rides in its double figures. That doesn't happen too often. I've got it in for second. Daggers in there for third. Also another horse that is 2 from 2 in its career. My main or little query with this horse is not so much the horse, but the wind. It's supposed to be about a 30k an hour wind into their faces around the corner. Daggers likes to lead, so I'm not sure how that'll set up for him and Dawn Service, but I think the 1400 metres is no problem, and it's a good horse. Wonder Boy will need some luck from gate 1, but it's a small field, so it might not matter. Can settle further forward this start for Craig Williams, and I reckon it's ready to win, and I can see why it's favourite. But I like Detroit City, 1 unit the win, race 2. Race 3 is the listed G1 Makybe Stakes over the 1100 metres for the 3-year-old fillies. Drifting is the favourite. The last start Quizette winner is at $3.80. Bold Bastille, second favourite, right on its hammer at $3.90. To Be or Not To Be is at $7.50, $8 about for Kuro Yanagi, and longer odds the rest. This was the run last preparation of both Bold Bastille and Drifting. The two favourites clashed here in a race down the Flemington straight over the 1,000 metres. It's 1,100 metres on Saturday, so that's the slight difference between this replay and the conditions faced on Saturday. But Bold Bastille held Drifting here by 3/4 of a length on the line. Now another 100 metres and Drifting probably goes past it. But Bold Bastille off the back of this run gets a 3-kilo weight swing on Drifting, so I think that just puts Bold Bastille further ahead. Bold Bastille had a really good SP in the Norman Carline first up at the Valley, where the conditions didn't set up for it. It's a winner down the straight. It's drawn gate 9. It's going to be in the right part of the straight. It'll be leading. I reckon it can get back to its best. And I've got it on top ahead of Drifting, who can't be dismissed. Jamie Carr rides. Might have come back a better horse this preparation. It's in with a good chance. Another thing about that, why is Blake Shin not riding Drifting? He rode it first up for a Quizette win. I'm not sure why he's got off it, and he's riding something that's paying about 20-1, so I'm not too sure what's going on there. Manolo Bling in for third. I think this horse can put itself on speed and be hard to beat. I think needed the run last start at the Valley, and now is fitter. And Kuro Yanagi will need some luck from gate 1. Or it's down the straight, so I don't think it's suited by gate 1, but Ben Mellon rides in third up. I reckon it's ready to peak, but we'll need to find a couple of lengths to be getting past Drifting. I like Bold Bastille in the G1 Makybe. Race 4 is the listed Poseidon Stakes for the 3-year-old colts and geldings over the 1100 metres. Growing Empire is the favourite at the moment at $1.90, ahead of Reserve Bank, who's at $9, and then you got longer odds the rest. Growing Empire taking up a large percentage of the market here. I'm with one at a bit of a price, and its name is First Settler. This was its last start win at Flemington over the 1,000 metres, where it just held on. Now, at its debut run at Caulfield, it put a space on them. It won by 2.5 lengths. Looked like it needed further than the 1,000 metres. Went to Flemington over the 1,000 metres and just held on. So a few people might be querying this horse over the 1,100 on Saturday, but I'm not. There was a strong headwind that day at Flemington, so I think that run was better than it looked. I think First Settler, no doubt about the 1,100 metres. I think it will get it. Gate 12 down the straight, I'd rather with First Settler than Gate 3 down the straight, which Growing Empire has. And I just think I've rated these two horses fairly similarly, and one's $13 and one's $1.90, so I've ended up going with a $13 one, First Settler. I reckon it's hard to beat. Growing Empire in for second, obviously can't be dismissed. Its first up win in the McNeil Stakes was very, very good. Back to 1,100 metres, I'm not a huge fan of, but I don't think it'll matter. It probably should be winning, but we'll see what it's got. Reserve Bank, this horse comes back first up from a spell, was a dominant 5.5 length winner at Bendigo on debut, so it's got some upside. And Ndola draws gate 1 down the straight, so not ideal, but is 2 from 3 in its career, and it looks progressive. But I'm with First Settler at a bit of a price in race 4. Race 5 is the Group 3 Archer Stakes over the 2,500 metres. Berkshire Breeze is the favourite at $3.50, ahead of Point King, who is currently at $5. Horrifying is about $7. $7 about as well for Dashing Duchess, out to $8 for Post Impressionist, and Mostly Cloudy. Longer odds the rest. This was the last start win of Horrifying at Flemington. Berkshire Breeze runs second. Now, Horrifying was very impressive on this day, going past Berkshire Breeze and recording a nice win. And I just think fourth up Horrifying will be fitter. But I've got Berkshire Breeze on top. I just think that $3.50 looks very appealing, considering its SP was $1.45 last start in this race. I think what beat it, personally, was the change of racing pattern, where it settled out in the lead, where it usually likes to have cover. Now, from gate 10 on Saturday, I don't think Mickey D has much of a choice. I reckon he has to settle outside the leader again, which is likely to be Good Oil. It's a race where if Berkshire Breeze has cover, I'll probably try to back it in run. But I'm not too sure what's going to happen in this race. I just think I'm not confident with this race at all, to be honest. But Berkshire Breeze, the price appeals, so I'm happy to have it on top. In for second, I've got Horrifying. Obviously, very good last start. In for third, I've got Vow and Declare. The old boy might be fitter for that first start run at Caulfield and be running well. And then in there for fourth, I've got Dashing Duchess. In form, 54 kilos, fit, can't be dismissed. But I'm with Berkshire Breeze on top on Saturday. Race 6 is the listed Vale Black Caviar of the 1400 metres. Nicolini Vito is the favourite at $5 ahead of Holy Mans, who's at $6, $8 about for Bankmore, and longer odds the rest. This was the last start run of Holy Mans at Moonee Valley behind Rolls, where it was a race clearly and only suited to Rolls because it led and won. The second and third horse stuck close to the fence, so the race didn't suit back markers at all. Holy Mans wasn't suited, but now I think third up on Saturday, Ethan Brown can settle closer from gate 8. I reckon it's ready to win, and I'm happy to have it on top. Third up, Peaking. In for second, and I've also got some units on Uncle Bryn. This horse comes back from a year off, so we'll probably need this run and want further. But its recent jump out was absolutely enormous. Beat a good horse called the Genius, who won the other week at Cranbourne. Gate 11, Luke Curry will be charging down the outside. It's good enough to win. In for third, I've got Macram. This horse, last time it was first up, beat Jimmy Star at Flemington over 1400 metres, so it can run well again. And Aaron Bay usually improves second up, but I think from gate 12 will be flying down the outside late, and it's a good horse. But I'm in the corner of Holy Mans to take out the listed Vale Black Caviar. It's that time of the week. It's last man standing. No one really did anything last week. I had a little something on Pericles, which got me something back and moved me up a position ahead of Braden. Let's see what we're doing this week. Geordie is having 50 the win on Barrackeel and 50 the win on A Girl's Best Friend. Cole is having 25 each way on First Settler, 25 the win on Daggers, 25 the win on Right to Party. Sammy is having 50 the win on Growing Empire, 20 the win on See You in Heaven, and 15 each way on Bandersnatch. I'm having, this is a few spoilers in here, or a couple of spoilers I should say, 50 the win on Mr. Brightside, 25 the win on Detroit City, and 25 the win on Quintessa. And then Braden hasn't got me the tips yet. Sky High Horse Racing is just going for 100 the win on Pride of Jenni. That's what we're doing for Last Man Standing this week. Race 7 is the Group 2 Let's Elope Stakes for the mares over the 1400 metres. The favourite is Quintessa at $5 ahead of Running By, who's at about $6, $6.50 about for See You in Heaven. Out to about $8 for Wallumbye and $8.50 for Alsafina. Longer odds the rest. This was the last start run of Quintessa. Its first up win in the Cochrane Stakes at Caulfield on Memsey Stakes Day. Now, any horse that has the ability to win the Cochrane Stakes first up from a spell is immediately in my good books. It's been won by some good horses in the past. Quintessa, unsuited distance, wanted further, and was still managed to win. Draws gate 8, which I think is absolutely ideal on Saturday. Can be midfield or so on the outside, peeling into it down the straight, and Stacky can go bang, and I think it can record back-to-back wins. I think it's one of the better bets of the day, Quintessa, and I'm having one unit that win on it. Vibrant Sun, this horse won the Australasian Oaks last start, and it was very good in doing so. Has to carry the weight penalty because of that and will be better suited over further. But Mark Zara goes on and draws gate 6, so will be in a forward position. Grinzinger Bell, now this horse is way over the odds. Last time it was first up, it ran in a Flemington 1400 metre race. Drawn really wide and won. It has the same setup again on Saturday. Can't believe it's $17. And then in for fourth, I've got See You in Heaven. This horse, gate 10, Jamie Carr, third up Peaking, is ready to win again. But I like Quintessa to take out the Let's Elope Stakes. Race 8 is the Group 1 Makybe Diva Stakes over the 1600 metres. It's the big one, and Via Sistina is the favourite at $2.15 ahead of Mr. Brightside, who's at $3.30. Pride of Jenni is at $6, out to $8 for Pinstriped, and double figures the rest. This was the last start Memsey replay featuring Mr. Brightside, Pride of Jenni, Pinstripes, and also Antino. Pinstripe was very good on this day, winning, but Mr. Brightside is fitter for his first up run and also maps for a better run than Pinstripes. So I think Mr. Brightside can turn the tables on Pinstripes. In regards to Pride of Jenni, I personally think that she's cooked and she's done. I think that last run in the Queen Elizabeth Stakes up in Sydney, where she led by about 40 lengths, won by 6.5, was taking very small steps late. I personally think that's wrecked her. Mares are so fragile, and I expected her with 3 jump outs to come back and just win the Memsey, and she didn't. A lot of people will be saying, oh, but further's better with Pride of Jenni. Well, she lost by only a nose to Mr. Brightside when she was first up in the CF4, and now she's lost by about 3 or 4 lengths to Mr. Brightside. I think she's going to have to make up a huge amount of ground. I think $7 is about her right price. I need to see her do something before I can be confident on her and to say that she's back. But getting onto the top 4, Mr. Brightside on top. Look, gate 4, I really hope Warmonger pushes forward and Mr. Brightside can settle 1 out, 1 back. It's another race and another horse that I want to back in run. I know the in-run markets have a higher percentage and it's harder to win, but if Mr. Brightside is settling without cover outside of Pride of Jenni, I'm not too keen on its chances and probably prefer Via Sistina. But if he's got cover, I really, really like Mr. Brightside's setup. If that happens, Via Sistina, very classy horse. I just think second up, travelling across the border, draws gate 1, will need a bit of luck. I just think Mr. Brightside represents more value at the price at the moment. I think they should be further together in terms of price, and Mr. Brightside maybe even a bit shorter, but it's a very progressive horse, and J-Mac goes back on. In for third, I got Pride of Jenni. Look, this horse can get back to its best and be running well, and I'm supposed to have a Tissue in there for fourth, not Antino. A Tissue, good first up run behind Via Sistina and can improve drastically. Flemington it loves. But I like Mr. Brightside. Come on, Mr. Brightside. Hopefully he can take out the Makybe Diva Stakes. Race 9 is the Group 2. Bobby Lewis quality over the 1200 metres. Right to Party is the favourite at about $5.50 at the moment. It's a wide open race. Buenos Noches is at $6.50. Sons Doot is at $7. $8 for Benedetta, $8 for Spacewalk, $8.50 for Stretton Angel, $9 for Arkansas Kid. Gee, it's a wide open race. This was the last start trial of Skybird. Now, Skybird was supposed to run first up in the Cochrane Stakes, and it played up in the gates and got scratched. Had a nice little tick over trial at Colac. It's pretty wet there, but you can see it finishing off nicely down the outside. This horse has a good first up record. It flies fresh, has the 53 kilos on Saturday, which is ideal. I think can improve from last preparation, whereas a 3-year-old filly, and can mature more now as a 4-year-old mare. Draws gate 7, so will be all tucked up. Just needs luck when it gets to about the 5 or the 400 metres, and I reckon it'll explode. And I think it's a tad over the odds at the moment at $13. I'm happy to have Skybird on top. Ahead of Benedetta, who's done it before. Blake Shin goes on, draws gate 4. Last preparation, it was a Group 1 winner, so can't be dismissed. In for third, I've got the Inferno. This horse is first up, but from gate 15 will be flying home from the back. It's good enough to win. And then in there for fourth, I've got Arkansas Kid. Was a bit disappointing considering its price last week, but is on the week back up and draws the right part of the straight. But I'm in the corner of Skybird. Hopefully it can fly fresh at Flemington on Saturday. Race 10 to finish the day is an open handicap over the 1700 metres. The scratching of See What I See has made this open race a whole lot more open. Positivity is the favourite at $5.50 ahead of Milford and Shayar, who are both at $6.50. $7 about for Green Fly and longer odds the rest. This was the last start run of Berkeley Square at Caulfield behind Another Will, where it settled last and finished off decently. I was with this horse on this day also, and I wasn't disappointed with the run. I think second up to the 1700 metres suits. Would have liked to see it draw a little bit further inside, but from gate 13, I'm hoping can be off midfield in the 3 wide running line and down the long Flemington straight, can build up the revs and go bang. I've got it on top ahead of King Magnus, who is really fit. Back to the 1700 metres suits. I like Berkeley Square and King Magnus pretty well clear of the rest. I think one of the two will win, but I'm not confident on that. Braden Star, gate 1 will need luck, but second up will be fitter. And then in for fourth, I should say, Positivity. Also second up should be fitter and settles on speed from gate 11. Also the lightweight suits with Damien Lane in the saddle, 54.5 kilos. But I like Barclay Square to take out the last at Flemington on Saturday. Now it's time for the quaddie. Last week wasn't great. It was gettable, but I didn't get it. Anyway, we move on to this week. This week I'm going for a wide quaddie. In the Let's Elope Stakes, 1 Quintessa, 2 Vibrant Sun, 3 See You in Heaven, 5 Grinzinger Bell, 8 Alsafina, 10 Running By, and 15 Foxy Cleopatra. In the Makybe Diva Stakes, 1 Mr. Brightside, 6 Pride of Jenni, and 8 Via Sistina. In the Bobby Lewis Quality, 1 Laws of Indices, 2 Benedetta, 3 Griff, 6 The Inferno, 10 Arkansas Kid, and 13 Skybird. And in race 10, going for the 6 Barclay Square, the 3 King Magnus, the 8 Braden Star, and 11 Positivity. Bit of a wide quaddie this week, but it's what I'm going for. Thank you everyone for watching this week's preview. I think it's about a 4.75 unit spend this week. And if either Detroit City, Quintessa, or Mr. Brightside can get up, we make a profit, which will be good to get back in the green after, I think, 2 consecutive weeks of a loss. So, looking forward to Saturday. Going to be some great racing. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Until next week's preview, bye for now.